you've been diagnosed with vestibular neuritis or labyrinthitis. How do you treat it? What do you do? In today's video, we are going to discuss the best and worst exercises for treating vestibular neuritis. When treating a hypofunction, anything that causes a weakness of the vestibular nerve, one compared to the other. So that could be neuronitis, labyrinthitis, vestibular migraine, concussion, or even acoustic neuroma. There's an imbalance between the two nerves. I'm going to discuss an unpopular opinion, some of my least favorite or worst exercises that I can think of for vestibular hypofunction. Cawthorn Cooksey exercises have been around for a while. They're prescribed as a home exercise program. It's an easy process to follow. It's still commonly prescribed. But are Cawthorn Cooksey exercises effective? The answer might surprise you, so make sure that you stay tuned. So a big portion of the Cawthorn Cooksey exercises are meant just to move the eyes in isolation. It starts asking you in bed, if able, to move the eyes left and right, up and down, and diagonals. After that, they ask you to move your finger in towards your nose and also to shrug your shoulders. None of that does anything for the vestibular nerve. So anything that moves the eyes in isolation or just shoulders actually doesn't treat the vestibular nerve and strengthen it. Eventually, it does ask you to move the head. So moving the eyes and the head with eyes closed and trying to overcome dizziness and that sensation. Still, not the most effective way to strengthen the inner ear nerve. It does stimulate it, but vestibular system is activated when you move fast and when your eyes are stable on a target when you move your head fast. Those gaze stability exercises are that gold standard, remember. So the Cawthorn Cooksey protocol doesn't actually include any VOR exercises. It almost just includes habituation exercises, which are valid and they serve their purpose. They're just the least effective. And just to reiterate, all those eye isolation, pencil push-up kind of moves and shoulder shrugs don't do anything for strengthening the inner ear nerve. So those are your least effective and least productive use of your time. The gold standard exercises are going to be gaze stability exercises. It's recommended that you do 12 to 20 minutes of gaze stability exercises. What are those? I'll make sure to include examples of the best gaze stability exercises you can do right up here. VOR near, VOR far, VOR times 2, imaginary VOR, eye then head shifts, and then my letter reading. If you haven't already, make sure you grab the free download on gaze stability exercises and their progression in the comments below. So by far, those are the gold standard, hands down, the best exercises to do for hypofunction. The second best thing you could do when looking at the research is walking. It's recommended that you get 20 minutes of walking, starting slow, working up to your normal pace of walking, adding in head motions as your dizziness subsides, 20 minutes a day. So even if it is just 5 minutes 4 times a day, I do not care. It all accumulates, and as long as you get 20 minutes a day, the research says that's the second most effective way to get that vestibular system healing. The third recommendation for treating a hypofunction is going to be balance exercises. So that could be static or dynamic. A lot of people are going to start with heel to toe, standing in the corner or opening up those feet a little bit, standing on one leg for 30 seconds. And then we would advance to slow marches, heel to toe walking, step ups on a stair, or even lunges on a step, making sure we get more dynamic and functional as we go along with your balance training. The evidence also suggests that that is a 20-minute contribution each day. So we have gaze stability, walking, and balance all 20 minutes a day, most days of the week. The fourth layer that I will throw in is habituation. And habituation is basically an exercise protocol of repeated exposure to a stimulus that bothers you until the brain tamps down its response and no longer causes dizziness. Common habituation exercises that I will prescribe are rolling in bed, doing a 180-degree turn, bending over to get your shoes and then back up, or taking dishes out of the dishwasher. Now, hopefully you found that helpful, but I would like to take a moment just to ask you what you're struggling with right now. Is it finding the right diagnosis, not knowing which exercises are appropriate for your diagnosis? wanting to understand the why or the how something causes symptoms. I would love for you to let me know in the comments below on what you're struggling with and what you would like to learn a little bit more about.